Good morning. Welcome to Ramblings with Joe. Well, looks like there's a turmoil in the world. That pretty much sums it up. We have two active wars, who knows how many hostile environments. Washington, D.C. is on lockdown. Sad times. On the other hand, I have Wanda from Ubora. That is really good coffee. I really enjoy that. I don't have a lot to talk about this morning. I've got a lot on my mind that I can't talk about at the moment. Well, I mean, I could. There's nothing that prevents me from doing so. I just don't want to. The ability for our minds to multitask, I'm not sure I believe in it. I have issues, and I guess this is what they call being driven to distraction. You wake up in the middle of the night and it just runs through your mind over and over and over again. And then you wake up and it's the first thing on your mind. And you go to bed and it's the last thing on your mind. And I'm trying to let it go. I'm trying to absolutely stop. But it is such an integral part of my life, or has been in the past, that it is very difficult to let go. I need to let go. I think it will be healthier for me to let go. Tonight, after a certain meeting, I'm going to go back to meditating. I think that will help. I kind of slacked off on it. I had my foot hurt so bad I could barely walk. Turns out I have high arches. So I have a high arches inserts in my shoe. And the pain has all but subsided. The pain is there, but it's so slight that I know it will go away. So I stopped meditating. That was a bad move. And I stopped my yoga, and that was a bad move. Now, I feel like my foot has almost completely healed. I think I'll go back to it. Get my mind straight again. This thing tonight. I'm gonna go to work today though, and I'm gonna have a good day. Rained on me so hard yesterday. At one point, I walked from my truck to a dock, and I forgot my raincoat. Now, it wasn't raining when I walked off, but by the time I had delivered the customer's goods, the rain had started, and it was coming down so hard that the owner of the facility came out, all the dock workers came out, and we all stood there and watched the rain. And at one point, the owner looks at me and says, "Man, you should really bring a raincoat with you." I said, "Yeah, it's in my truck." So I waited for it to subside a little bit. I hadn't had a lunch break, so it seemed like a good opportunity to take a lunch break right there and then, and I did. And they're good people at this place. Where I deliver, I have very few people who don't treat me very nice, and that's good. That's a good thing to have in your life, people treating you well. I think I'm gonna try some new coffee. I've got 3 bags of, what do I have? Blackbeard's Delight. Like I said, that's like coming home. That's good stuff too. But I think I'm gonna expand and try some different things. The Brazil we tried from Ubora, it was pretty good. If you like it, if you like your coffee on the sweeter side, you could definitely taste the toffee notes. I've never had coffee as good as Rwanda. This is the best coffee I've ever had. But I think that I need to expand my horizons on my coffee front and try some different flavors. Maybe a different company. There's one company that is in a local town here. I don't know. I'll have to look into that one. But there's also one that's out toward a small town in Waynesboro. No, not Waynesboro. Yeah, it's kind of between Waynesboro and, if you had Waynesboro and Rennes, it's between those two in a kind of triangular pattern. I might drive out to that store one day, maybe next weekend, not this weekend coming, and try some of their coffee. They roast locally. They roast out in the country. Look, this place is out in the country. But they're roasting coffee and they look like they're doing a pretty good business. I might go out there and grab a bag or two of theirs and try them. I haven't decided whether to talk about this meeting that I'm going to go to tonight or not. There are those who don't want me to. In life, my desire has always been to be as honest as I can, to bring light to the subjects that I can. And shine the light of truth has always been something that I have aspired to do. And this may be one of those times where the light of truth not only has to be shined, but it may have to be spotlighted. There's a turmoil. This is what it comes down to, and I'm so tired of turmoil. All you have to do is the right thing. It's not difficult. I promise you, it's not difficult. And once you're in the habit of doing the right thing, wow, it makes decisions so much easier. I may have to put all of this behind me after this meeting tonight. And I'm sure some of you have figured out what this is about. It's top of my mind. It is right on the forefront of every thought. And I need to get it out of my system and let it go. And stop hurting people. Above everything else in life, stop hurting people. I'm a little bit frustrated, as you can tell. I have a buddy who's putting in a floor, what do you call it, luxury vinyl. And I put some in upstairs from Lowe's. I purchased it, 22 mil. I don't know if that means anything to anybody. It's the thickness of the vinyl it's made out of. And it's holding up very well. I'm very, very satisfied with it. Anyway, he's putting in a floor. Let me restate that. He's helping his wife put in a floor. You know, us men, we like to think that we lead, that we are the people who wear the pants in the house and, you know, all that crap and all the machismo BS. But the truth is, usually at home, we follow. We are not the leaders. The truth is, usually, we kind of do what the wife says. And I'm happy that way. I get frustrated sometimes. If there's something that needs to do and I know how to do it, and she's trying to lead me through it, it's like, no, you need to step aside, let me do it. If there's a coin toss, not a coin toss, a coin toss, as to who knows how to do something better, I'm perfectly satisfied to let her lead. And like I've talked about that before, we kind of have a system, and we establish who's going to lead and who's going to follow in most projects. And just about everything in life is a project, but and it's not an official meeting where we sit down and we say, okay, I'm going to lead and you're going to follow. No. Usually it's just, oh, you're doing this. Let me help you. And I think that ability to recognize and acknowledge that you're not in the lead position is something that most people don't understand, and it's difficult for them to accept. Often cases when you're in work, when you're at work, you you're following somebody. I mean, there's usually only one CEO in a organization, so everybody else is following somebody. And the CEO technically has to follow the customers. So everybody has a boss. It's really, once you recognize that you have a boss and that you need a boss, and everybody does need a boss, or else we just wander around aimlessly. Even religious leaders have a boss if they truly believe in their faith. But I think a lot of the world doesn't understand that we're not in charge. At home, I'm definitely not in charge. And I'm not saying that M is in charge of every decision made in the house. Mostly we make our decisions jointly. What I'm saying is, when there are tasks to be done, you can't have two people saying, let's do it this way, because two people have two different ways. And the nuances of each task, well, it can be very conflicting even when you want the same outcome. So, yeah. Recognizing that in yourself as a human being is something difficult to do, because we all want the freedom to do what we want to do. And within the confines of a relationship, whether it's a marriage or a work relationship, that's not always available to you. The freedom to walk away is always there, but the freedom to do exactly what you want to do when you want to do it is seldom there. Maybe that's why weekends are so important to me, because on weekends, man, we pretty much do what we want. And it's still even there, you know. One person's rights end where another person's nose begins. You're not allowed to punch somebody, in other words. You're not allowed to infringe upon someone else's rights. You don't get to do whatever the hell you want to do. You just get to do what you want to do within the confines of reality. I don't have to be in charge. I'm happy in either role. I'm happy either leading or following, and it doesn't bother me. And maybe that's why I found truck driving to be the career path for me, because I really enjoy my time alone, and I enjoy my time with others. My wife thinks I'm an introvert. I don't know. I don't think I'm an introvert. I really enjoy. And there's certain people on my route that I actually look forward to seeing. There are certain people on my route that I'd rather not have to deal with, but I figure out how to deal with them most effectively, and I do so. But for the most part, I enjoy seeing my regulars. And I enjoy the adventure of meeting someone new, which is a constant thing, because the town I deliver to it's not huge, but it's not small either. I keep meeting new people. And I try to remind myself, after dealing with trying not to cuss, with a jerk, that that is the small portion of the people that I meet. So the majority of the people I meet are pleasant, easy to get along with. And I try to reflect that attitude with everybody, even the people that are miserable. I try to reflect that attitude. The easy part of being a spiritual person is getting along with the people who are pleasant and easy to get along with. The hard part, the part that Christianity and Judaism, and not so sure about Islam, but those two specifically, I delved very deep into. These two require that you try and get along and with the people who are obstinate. And Christianity, you are to, I believe that they're saying is, hate the sin, love the sinner. Well, that's difficult at times. Very difficult at times. And doing nice things for mean people seems counterintuitive, but it makes me a better person. It makes me feel better. It can make you feel better too. Doing nice things for mean people, it may give them a change of heart. Doing mean things to mean people definitely will not give them a change of heart. That doesn't mean we don't call out, injustices when we see them. We definitely do. But it also doesn't mean that we treat people poorly because they are not nice. Well, that went a little deeper than I meant for it to go. All of my windows are fogged up because it has rained again. It is incredible. This is the weather portion of my podcast, by the way. We have more rain in the future. I should have planted wheat instead of grass. It would be almost time to harvest it by now. My neighbors wouldn't be happy, but I'm sure the birds would. I may have to break out the weed eater and knock down the tall stuff out front. Wow, I really am an old man worried about his lawn. I gotta learn to let that go too. Oy vey. Delicious cup of coffee. I have half a cup more left in the coffee pot, and I'm going to enjoy it. The wife has not gotten up. She had a headache last night. I hope she feels better today. And I hope you have a fantastic Tuesday. I really do. Tuesdays are one of those days. It's definitely not Monday. It's not, Mondays sometimes feel like it's out to kick you in the teeth. Tuesdays are just kind of, oh boy, Tuesday. Still got most of the week to go, but we don't have that Monday facing us, so. Tuesday, let's do this. Wednesday, hump day. Once we get to lunchtime on Wednesday, we're kind of going up over the hump and we're on the downside slide of the week at that point. Oh, there's something funny. Someone in our neighborhood has a very loud car, and every morning they crank it up and it just booms in our bedroom. And it's hilarious because I know what's happening now. My neighbor driveway across the street is kind of pointing down, and he parks his car in. His car's not super loud. This is an acoustic anomaly is what it is. And the car is pointing his exhaust right up at the our basically our bedroom, and it sounds really loud. So one morning I said, let me get up and check, and I gotta see who's making all this noise, who's driving a car. And I saw the guy get into his car. He must have a remote start. He gets into his car and he backs up, and I'm like, I gotta talk to him maybe. And when he backs up, as soon as he backs up out of his driveway, his car is perfectly level now on the road, and the sound just goes away. And I laughed. It's hilarious. His car has the OEM the OEM pipe on it. It's not loud. It's perfectly fine. It's just like I said, an acoustical anomaly. And now that I know what it is, it doesn't even bother me. It's hilarious. Every time it happens, I'm thinking, it's getting ready to go to work. It's not bothersome, and that's kind of indicative of what I was speaking of a moment ago. Most people are nice. All of my neighbors are nice. Everybody around me is wonderful. And he's a nice guy. I've talked to him a moment or two. And you wake up mad because there's that noise again, and this guy's he's not being inconsiderate. He doesn't even know he's doing it. And like I said, it doesn't bother me now that I understand. I think knowledge is what really helps you get past all of your biases. Knowledge is what I was saying goodbye a second ago, but now I'm on this kick. Knowledge and understanding can solve most problems. It definitely solved that problem for me now. It doesn't even bother me. Most mornings I sleep right through it now. It's just a matter of understanding. Gaining knowledge solves a lot of issues. Most issues, I bet. I bet it does. It is Tuesday, and it is raining as we speak. And I am going to go out and face the perils of America's highways in the 6th, 7th, or 8th, I'm not sure where it lands this year, most dangerous job. And I'm going to do the best to come home to the person I love, to the people I love. These are our highways. Be careful on them. You got to use them to get to work. Unless you're working from home. To work from, nah, I can't do that. I got to get out of the house. I hope you have a fantastic Tuesday. I hope you find peace, love, and dream. Until next time, see ya.